310 to Yuma day after tomorrow.
Hey Internet, it's Jeremy from Like Totally Awesome reviewing the movie 310 to Yuma. The movie, of course, being the 21st century re-revival of the dying genre, the Western. The story for the movie is basically that the badass criminal Ben Wade, played by Russell Crowe, finally got captured. So he has to be taken to a train 50 miles away, where he can be carried even further away so that he can be killed. Lawfully, I guess. They decide the best way to do this is to lead his gang in another direction while walking towards the train station with the deadliest man in the West by guarding him with 5 people. Well, shocker, baddest guy around starts killing people off. So what do? Do they restrain him so he can't move? No. Do they get backup? No. Do they just kill him on the spot? No. Do they continue to walk 50 miles so they can put him on a train so he can be carried off so that then they can finally kill him? No. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, that is what they do. The other element of the plot comes from Dan Evans, played by Christian Bale, who's the poor rancher slash one-legged war veteran who decides to come along for the ride so he can make some money and look like less of a failure to his family. So they slowly traveling, losing everyone one by one until the only characters left are Christian Bale and Russell Crowe. And then insert 20 minutes of shooting. If you missed the ending, you can go ahead and just watch Die Hard. It's pretty much the same thing. So what did I think of the movie? The plot was fairly linear and predictable, but that's pretty common of the Western genre as a whole. It's not about the deep plot twist, but about the benefits of the American frontier and the effects on the American character. Which was interesting in the 40s when everyone was like, oh wow, that's so cool, you don't have to ask permission to do stuff, while going, wow, the action scenes are so intense. The effect is lost a little bit in the 21st century because 1, everyone has heard the story before, yeah, the good guy wins. And 2, we're not really impressed by the shootout after I was slasher. That's not to say that the movie didn't work for me though. In fact, I thought it worked very well. Christian Bale is definitely more of a badass at the end of the movie than he was at the beginning of the movie, which is largely thanks to the lack of law and order when dealing with Ben Wade. And you can definitely see that Russell Crowe doing whatever the fuck he wants looks kind of fun. The character development and the tension throughout the movie was also pretty convincing. But the movie definitely has a different feel than the old black and white westerns. There's a much better focus on tension, probably since these people can actually act. And there's actually an attempt at making the dialogue seem reasonably realistic. The audience for the movie hasn't really changed in demographic from the old western movies. It's still targeted towards a male audience who are just going to see other males be badass and a prostitute. And they still expect a similar story. The difference, of course, is that they expect a little more from the action scenes, and they at least want an attempt at a multi-dimensional plot, which I think it did have. The whole subplot with William, Christian Bale's son, was at least semi-interesting. And you can see it's pretty cool that even kids get to be bamfs in the western frontier. It keeps the old themes alive, with a re-evaluation of moral actions, making the good characters and the bad characters have similar values, having a complete lack of law and order, and having it be a good thing, having different views on violence than society does now. Overall though, no matter how good it is, it will never have the same effect as the westerns did back in the 40s. It's kind of like Disneyland. The first time you go when you're 2, you're like, this is the most amazing thing ever! And the rides are so cool! It became the most memorable part of your life. Then 310 to Yuma comes and tries to bring you to Disneyland when you're 18. And it's just lame. The rides are slow, the costumes are silly, the cotton candy isn't even good, and no matter how many flashy lights they've added to those rides, you realize that they're still boring. But you keep going back to Disneyland anyways. Who knows why? Part of you just can't let it go. Disneyland was just so awesome the first time. The Western used to be so great, and you just really want to shake Mickey's hand. Or not, I'm not really sure what that means anymore. So overall, the movie wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It definitely wasn't revolutionary. I'd say go see it for entertainment, treat it like a modern day action movie, and I mean, if anything, Christian Bale's a bamf.